This time last year, we had the displeasure of witnessing the Duke and Duchess of Cringe making international headlines when they decided that they were the stars of the polo charity event that was organised by Centre Bali. The moment was so awkward that they quickly became the butt of many jokes, but at that time we didn't know just how meaningful this little cringe moment was for the Duke and Duchess. Let's get to the crunch. But don't grab the popcorn just yet, because this right now is the perfect moment to hit the subscribe button and help the Crown Crunch family bloom. Back to the popcorn. So just let's remind ourselves why this moment made headlines. Right, there we have the Duchess tottering onto the stage as if she has just won an Oscar, which we all know will happen never, giving that smug little head tilt as if to say, "You're welcome, I've arrived, you're welcome." In she squeezes right into the middle with some fake laughery. This is all just standard level cringe so far, until poor Dr. Sophie comes on to the stage. To understand the awkwardness of this, you first must know that Dr. Sophie Tendulka is a very accomplished woman who in March 2013 was featured in Financial Times' editorial pick of the 40 rising stars in the European legal profession aged under 40. She's also a member of the Executive Leadership Council, a membership organisation committed to increasing the number of senior black executives in global enterprises, and in 2021, on the Queen's birthday honours, she was awarded an MBE for her services to diversity in business. To the point in 2008 was when she was appointed to the Board of Trustees of Centre Bali. Then she was appointed as chair in 2023, just a couple of years ago. All of this to say this woman is powerhouse. She's no do-nothing snowflake who has nothing better to do. She is an accomplished woman, very busy, who has earned her place at the top of the Centre Bali charity after years of hard graft. And here she is, coming onto the stage at this charity polo event, which she has worked really hard for months to bring together, which raised, in fact, 1 million for the charity. So here she is, getting ready to take a quick snap, and bam! She is bossed around by Mrs. Markle, Mrs. Meghan of Sussex, Duchess of Sussex, whatever she wants to be called now, which is just utterly stupid, because either choose your surname to be Sussex or your title to be Duchess of Sussex, but doing both just makes you Meghan Sussex, Duchess of Sussex. There's too much Sussex for anyone to be able to seriously articulate. Anyway, Meghan here demands that Sophie move over to the other side of her. She keeps gesturing, but actually Meghan wasn't supposed to be at this event until very last minute. She had nothing to do with the organisation and planning, though it does not look like this at this very moment when she is attempting to dominate all of the photos. She then forces Dr. Sophie to climb under the trophy. You can see in Sophie's body language here that she is very uncomfortable. She's very uncomfortable around these two. We can tell by her closed off body language that she's nervous and she's jumpy. She's making jumpy movements and she's ducking under very uncomfortably. She's ducking and not and should she duck, should she not duck? She doesn't really know what to do. She's very, very uncomfortable. This is not, for the record, her baseline energy. Have a look at her talking here. Calm, confident, collected, but not when she's around the Sussexes. She's scared and uncomfortable. And now we know that she's not the only one in the Centre Bali organisation who feels very much like this. One of Dr. Sophie's allegations is that she was essentially reprimanded by Prince Harry when she did not come forward to publicly support Meghan Markle of Sussex after she became ridiculed for her behaviour at the polo match last year. So we know Harry and Meghan were upset to the point of revenge about this very moment. And why did she exactly choose not to support Meghan after being instructed to by the prince. Well, now we know exactly why. Let's have a look at this statement Sophie recently made. In her own words, Dr. Tendulka said, "Everything I do at Centre Bali is in pursuit of the integrity of the organisation, its mission and the young people we serve." So we'll just hold on one second. It is very clear Prince Harry's contribution to the charity is not about the people that they serve. It is about serving himself. That is about your ego. It is the opposite of charity. So you have misunderstood charity, Mr. Harry. Anyway, she continues to say, "My actions are guided by the principles and fairness and an equitable treatment for all, regardless of social status or financial means." And again, it is important she's mentioned this because that is again the opposite of what Harry's done. I think what she's done here is really highlighted the difference between her and the Sussex. There are people in the world who behave as though they are above the law and mistreat and then play the victim card and use the very press they disdain to harm people who have the courage to challenge their conduct. And it is again important that she's mentioned this because we know many people aren't coming forward because they are not brave enough, because they know that the PR machine behind Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will come for them. And that is not something that everyone can take, depending on your personality. It can be quite frightening to have, if you have a family that you want to protect, if you have a whole league of people who claim that they want to do horrible things to you because you are speaking out. She continues, "Discerning readers will ask themselves, why would the chair of the board report her own trustees to the Charity Commission? Why would the High Court of England and Wales accept her application to hear the matter at all if the case had no merit? Well, because beneath all the victim narrative and fiction that has been syndicated is the story of a woman who dared to blow the whistle about issues of poor governance, weak executive management, abuse of power, bullying, harassment, misogyny directed towards black women, and the cover-up that ensues. I could be anyone." So she's basically pointing out that she's the one to stand up, but it is not about her. It's about the way in which they've conducted themselves and that it needs to be called out, which I think is very humbling. She's saying what we've all known for a very long time. And although the Sussexes PR machine is working very hard to rebuild their status among viewers, moments like this do remind us what the Sussexes are really like, who they really are, what's really important to them. And it reminds us that their intentions are clear. They have no interest in charity and their motives are completely their own egos. The truth always prevails in these scenarios. Someone said, "Don't forget that the late Queen awarded this woman an MBA in 2021. She is also a corporate lawyer, worked for Morgan & Stanley, Meta, Baker McKenzie, etc. She's nobody's fool." This woman was the wrong person to try and push around and bully, but I don't think they have any line when it comes to who they're bullying. Of course, they try to bully the Queen. They've got no idea who they're up against with Sophie. They just they've got away with a lot, and the tables are finally turning on them. Someone else said, "Interesting how the word bullying follows Harry and Meghan. I believe Dr. Sophie." And I think what we're seeing with the launch of her Netflix show is that there is a massive amount of money put towards this show being successful. And they are going to do whatever they can. And if that means tarnishing the reputation of important people in charity positions, then they'll do it because they want their vanity project to succeed. And it's quite tragic, really, because obviously Dr. Sophie is working in the interests of others, in the interest of the charity and not in her own interest. Hit like if you are beginning to see through the Sussex facade, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss a future episode. We will see you down in the comments.